what challenges have you as business leaders observed in global sourcing and supply chain fulfillment? And then I would follow that up with, what especially are the challenges related to automation, and how it's picking up speed in our current transformative times? How about if we have Prasad start off?
Sure. I think, Jennifer, majority of the companies have realized how dependent they are on global supply chains during the recent pandemic. I think the manufacturing world has got a lot of coverage, as people could see for themselves. Idle factories, empty shipyards at the start of the pandemic, as factories are running to were empty. But as the pandemic slowed down and things have changed, I think you've seen factories running to their capacities and crowded ports. But a similar phenomena happened in the services industries too, impacting their supply of resources. Services companies generally hire associates from colleges and universities, and the majority of these resources get trained working along with seniors in the office. But with the pandemic and remote work, this process, which almost worked for a long time as a supply chain, was broken. So, and the Great Resignation also impacted the supply demand. So the supplier resilience is something extremely important. It's the biggest challenge that I see for the industry going forward. It needs to be addressed effectively. On the AI and the tools, of course, every business discussion nowadays has to have generative AI or Gen AI component thrown in there. So Gen AI is not only accelerating how businesses adopt AI, but also how they innovate. Right? Gen AI can help business identify patterns, trends, potential issues, data, etc. But implementation of Gen AI presents a lot of unique challenges too, right? Organizations and their applications, we need to make sure they actually have quality of data, large data sets, and employee training needs. But also, somebody in the insurance industry, we have a lot of regulatory requirements that need to be addressed too. So I think it's good to see some new tools like Gen AI coming in, but also we have our challenges for implementing them.
I think just to follow up on what Prasad said, I think there's certainly we're facing a lot of challenges. I think the first one I would say is that we saw what happened during COVID-19, supply chain disruptions, right? When COVID-19 hit, pandemic had highlighted truly like the vulnerability of our global supply chains. Everybody was looking at ways to mitigate risks and build resiliency and ensure that we have continuity in the face of these disruptions. So you look at alternative supply and so forth. The other one I think when it comes, and I think Prasad alluded to a little bit, is on the increased complexity when we're talking about automation and digitization, because automation and digitizations are truly transforming our supply chains, right? Like we have to embrace these technologies. But with that as well, I think there's also added complexities. So, helping navigate these complexity by ensuring that, we truly integrate those, automation technologies, managing the complexity of data, and optimizing, processes in order to fully, leverage and benefit, these automations. So the other one as well, like talent and skills gap, right? With the adoption of automation, and technologies, there's also a gap in terms of the required skills that, our workforce need to be able to, manage and, maintain these complex systems. So finding, the right talent with the technical skills and expertise, data automation and data analytics, and so forth has also been, a challenge. And I would say the last one, which is a big one, is cybersecurity risks. Because I think with increased, automation and digitization, our supply chains are becoming more vulnerable to cyber threats. So, looking at ways to prioritize cybersecurity measures and, protecting our sensitive data, our IP and critical, infrastructures from these cyber attacks, truly priority for us, but it's also a challenging, risk that, we're all facing.